Let's move into round 6, but I'm going to move it up to round 4.
Cool.
Just throw shit up. Quick fire round.
Cool.
So 15 seconds an answer?
Perfect.
Is happiness the purpose of life?
No, absolutely and utterly not. The purpose of life is to be competent and successful. If you try and base your life and your mentality purely around how happy you are, you'll end up hedonistic and destroyed.
Are entrepreneurs narcissists?
I think you need to be narcissistic to a degree to believe in yourself. I've never seen somebody who gets to the top of the world or the universe in any field who did not have absolute and utter belief in themselves.
What's the most expensive item you've ever bought?
Besides property, I bought a lot of very, very expensive property, planes, boats, but besides those things, it will probably be my Bugatti Chiron for $5.2 million, and I also have a very expensive watch, which is close.
What do you know that most people don't?
I know the secrets to the universe and how to escape the matrix, and I'm trying to make sure that most people know those things. That's why I teach at covertate.com, because the more people that escape, the more enemies, the more soldiers I have on my side against the enemy.
You're good at this round. What's the best advice you ever remember receiving?
That's hard because there's so many answers. About 17 answers just went through my head. I can't possibly choose one.
One from your dad.
Allow manipulation to find out where your enemy wants you to go, then use your mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. And I have to elaborate. Sorry, I know it's
That's fine.
rule. But the reason that's so important is because if you don't know where your enemy wants you to go, you might end up there on accident. If you don't allow your enemy to tell you what they're trying to do to you, you might accidentally end up where they want you to be. So you sit there and you listen to their bullshit head to toe and you say, why? You don't even ask why. Listen to their bullshit head to toe and say, okay, I agree. What do you want me to do? And when they tell you what they want you to do, you use your mind to break the trap and you punish the perpetrators. Because once they've told you what they want you to do, you can make sure you never fucking do it. If you never get them to tell you that, they might get you there another way. You might take the B road, right? They might say, we want to get him to do this way. He doesn't believe it. Well, then let's tell this lie. Now he's doing it. So you allow manipulation to find out where your enemy wants you to go, and use your mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators.
What's the worst advice you ever remember receiving?
Follow your passion. Bollocks. Biggest crock of shit. If you're only going to do things you're passionate about and do things you want to do instead of getting up and struggling doing things you're supposed to do because you have a duty to God and to yourself, you are going to be a loser forever.
Would you rather have 5 million new followers or $50 million in the hand?
Neither of them mean anything to me. Good question. But I would say 5 million new followers because we now live in an attention economy, and if you manage to use those followers in the right way, you can monetize it far more than 50 million. But it also depends who you are, if you can monetize an audience, if you have anything of value. If you're a dummy, better take your money.
Would you rather be the richest man in the world or the best fighter in the world? So best fighter and skint, richest man and a not good fighter. I was going to say pussy, but I don't use that kind of language.
Me neither.
My daughter's watching.
Me neither. I never swear. Good question. I would choose the richest man in the world because physical power is fleeting, unfortunately, and the richest man in the world would allow you to have a longer period of enjoyment. It would just last longer.
What's your biggest failure?
I've failed to yet free everybody. But you know what? I don't think I want to free everybody because if everybody's free, the world would be pretty chaotic. I don't know what my biggest failure is. I've never really actually thought about that question. I don't think in the paradigm of failure. Every day for me is a winning day. It's just how much I've won. Perhaps I haven't won 100%, perhaps I've won 62%, but every day I win. I don't fail ever, so it's hard for me to even answer that question. To even contemplate the idea of failing for me is very difficult. It just doesn't happen.
What's your biggest regret?
Again, these are paradigms and ideas I don't exist in. It's like another language to me. I can't think of regret. I don't operate in the realm of regret. I operate in cause and effect, operate in the harsh realities, binary decisions. I don't operate in regret. I don't operate in failure. I can't imagine myself regretting something. I can't imagine myself failing. I can't.
Right. Penultimate round, the what do you think of round.
Great.
What do you think of the cancellation attempt of Joe Rogan?
Yeah, that was ridiculous, but Joe Rogan is obviously too large to cancel. You get to a certain level of status. It's called saint status. Patrick Bet-David said it to me, and it's perfect when you have large organizations that support you, and UFC was behind Joe Rogan. Spotify stayed beside him, but they were thinking about deplatforming him, but he couldn't be deplatformed anyway because he had UFC behind him. When you get to a certain point of money and status, you can't be deplatformed, which is why they came for me before I got there. Once you get to a certain level, you can't be deplatformed. But yeah, they attacked him for telling the truth. In fact, correction, they didn't even attack him for telling the truth. They attacked him for asking a question. And they asked a question to somebody who then told the truth. And they thought that that means he needs to be deleted. And everybody knows, if anyone who's ever read a history book, that the people who do not like the truth being told, or the people who try and censor arguments, are always the bad guys. They are the tyrants. So everybody who came for Joe Rogan is a bad person. They're genuinely a bad person in their hearts. They work for the devil.
What do you think of Kanye West buying Parler?
Interesting. I think that the more people who escape the matrix or understand the information they obtain from matrix-controlled platforms is controlled, the better. There are a lot of Twitter alternatives now. I'm on Getter, possibly. Personally, I'm on Getter, Gettr. But there's Getter, there's Parler, there's True Social. There's a lot of Twitter alternatives popping up. I think overall it's a good thing for people to understand they must get the truth and more information outside of the matrix-controlled platforms. But I would like the idea of us all to centralize on one. It's starting to get a bit spread out, the Twitter alternatives. The great thing about Rumble, where I am, is they're the only serious YouTube alternative. So if you want video like YouTube without censorship, you go to Rumble. It's the only place to go, which just makes them very powerful. And the more powerful they are, the harder they are to attack. If they're all spread out with lots of different platforms, they're going to get wrecked because the large companies are going to come for them financially, legally. They're going to find ways to destroy them. But you need to get together, strengthen numbers.
Yeah. What do you think of Elon Musk buying Twitter?
Good question. I'm a massive Elon fan. I was so happy when he was going to buy it. When he said he wasn't, I was genuinely disappointed because it's more important than money. Free speech is more important than money. So when he was saying it's not worth it because of bots, I was like, bro, I don't care about money. There's no way you can care about money. Like, come on, my friend. This is more important than that. This is about the freedom of Earth. But perhaps it was all part of a plan. He's obviously a very intelligent man. I don't want to be arrogant. He must know some things I perhaps don't know. But
you wouldn't want to overpay for something, would you?
I would for Twitter.
Would you?
I'd give up every single penny I have for Twitter, even if it wasn't worth it. All of it.
Right.
100%, all of it. Because then you get to control information. And you get to reopen the world to free speech. That's more important than money. I'd overpay for Twitter all day long. But perhaps he's less ideological than me. But maybe he knows things I don't know. But it looks like he's buying it in the end now, which I think is good for the world. Because we need free speech. Free speech allows different ideas. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, everything I say is all the people on my side are completely right, all the people on the other side are completely right. The truth is usually somewhere in the middle, but if you delete one side of the argument, you never get the truth. Yeah. That's why it's so important.
What do you think of all the lawsuits against Alex Jones of InfoWars and, all the families of the deceased children suing him?
Yeah, I understand he may have said some things he shouldn't have said. However, do I think he owes $1 billion for that? Absolutely not. What did I say was stage 3 of 3 stages? Stage 1 is they silence you. I think he's been deleted from everything. Stage 2 is they use the law to try and fuck you. So I think that Alex is on stage 2, unfortunately. Am I saying he's right in what he said? No. I don't know the details of what he said. I don't know the details of the event. However, he does live in a country with First Amendment protection. He should have free speech. And the fact they're charging him $1 billion for saying a few things is kind of crazy. Also, nobody's right all the time, right? He's a conspiracy theorist, but he's right 99% of the time, and then they find the one time he may have been a bit wrong and fucking wreck him. They're not doing that because they care about justice. They're doing it because he's on stage 2 of the 3 stages. Use the legal system to absolutely not decimate an individual who they do not like. That's what it is. So it's certainly personal, which makes it unfair by definition. If it's a personal attack, then it can't be a fair attack, can it? We're all supposed to be the same under the law. So I think it's unfair.
What do you think of the woke left versus Jordan Peterson?
The woke left are hateful people. Jordan Peterson is extremely intelligent. The woke left are full of hate. They weaponize virtue to pretend they care about others because they're such hateful, nasty people that they need to hide behind something. They did the same to me. There's not a single woke leftist who attacked me for being misogynist, which donates to women's charities like I do. Not a single one who's built an orphanage like I have. Not a single one who takes stray dogs from the streets in Romania like I have. Not a single one who's prevented anyone from suicide. Nothing. They just took fake virtue, weaponized it, pumped it full of their own hate, because they're hate-filled, and attacked me with it. The woke left are the most hateful, divisive, intolerant people on the planet. There's no point in calling for tolerance for different skin colors if you do not tolerate tolerance of ideas. What's the point in that? To say that we love diversity, but only if everybody looks different, but thinks exactly the same. Is that diversity? No, sir, it is not. Diversity is not only that we look different, that we think different, that we act slightly differently. That's truly diversity. These people are not for diversity or inclusion or tolerance. They are hate-filled, feral psychopaths. They attack me and they attack anybody who has any influence over the world, which does not absolutely and utterly go lockstep in line with their insane dogma and doctrine.